Welcome, everyone, to the September 2025 Member Forum. My name is Christy Park. I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Digital Library. As we gather in this shared virtual space, we'll start as we usually do by acknowledging the physical places from which we're joining, all located on the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what is now called North America. I'm joining from Austin, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land before their forcible removal. And I invite you, if you would like to share your own land acknowledgements in chat. We'll follow our usual agenda today. I'm joined by Courtney Muma, our Deputy Director, and our Outreach Coordinator, Kiera Hunt, and providing updates. We have several other TDL staff in attendance today. Welcome to them, and thank you to Megan Hernandez for managing our slides in today's presentation as well. Okay, just one quick director's update, and that is that Courtney and I will be traveling to Fort Worth at the end of the month to attend the Texas Council of Academic Libraries meeting, or TCAL, which is a meeting of academic library directors and leaders in Texas. And I'll be giving an update there on TDL's work at the TCAL business meeting. We'll also be holding our fall governing board meeting right after TCAL concludes while everybody is already in Fort Worth. So we're looking forward to that. I've included a list on this slide of our 2025-26 governing board members, and we'll share in the chat a link to our TDL repository collection where we share out minutes from these meetings and other public board materials just for your reference. Next, we'll move into our services and projects updates, starting with digital repository hosting. I think as we indicated last month, DSpace 8.2 upgrades will happen this fall, starting later this month. Nick Woodward has been hard at work getting prepared for that and reviewing some features and fixes that are actually not in 8.2, but coming in the next release, but that we're going to try to pull back into this upgrade as well to get as many things fixed and improved for you all as possible. Repository hosting contacts should expect an email from me later this week or early next week about the scheduling of those upgrades, as well as any impacts like downtime or, when those things are going to happen. So that'll be coming soon. Secondly, a big thank you to all those folks who answered last month's call for volunteers for a repository content accessibility task force that will convene starting next week. And we'll be working together to develop a collective plan of action for TDL DSpace users to improve the accessibility of content in our DSpace repositories. Next up, journal hosting service updates. So Nick Woodward has completed upgrades to all of our hosted journal sites. And as we discussed, this was a very minor version upgrade, but it did include a migration to a new operating system in our cloud infrastructure. Additionally, I want to remind everybody of new accessibility resources for OJS users that were produced by TDL's OJS Accessibility Working Group. I'll include a link, we'll include a link in chat to a blog post on our website about these resources, which include a toolkit for OJS, an accessibility toolkit, and an upcoming webinar happening next week on September 25th. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Courtney Muma.
Thanks, Christy. Hi, everybody. I'll start with TextHub, our digital public library of America hosting service. TDL's next harvest to DPLA is coming up in late October. TDL will harvest and map members' metadata prior to sending it to DPLA, including any changes to the metadata mapping or any metadata fields. Members may also add additional collections at this time. So that we have the data ready for DPLA in time, please let us know any changes or additions no later than October 10th, 2025. I'd also like to celebrate TDL developer Nick Woodward and extend my gratitude to our partners at UT Southwest Medical, who have helped us expand our harvesting capabilities to include tinned DA. We now harvest from DSpace, Content DM, Quartex, and tinned DA, and we look forward to adding other repository systems in collaboration with our members. Next up, Vireo hosting. TDL will host the Vireo User Group annual meeting online on October 6th, 2025, from 10 a.m. until noon Central Time. The meeting will include updates from the steering committee, product manager, and community discussion. You'll find the whole agenda in the link provided in chat. Also, earlier this year, the Vireo User Group Task Force on Accessibility Resources was convened to provide general information about the ADA Title II web accessibility regulations that could be shared with students and advisors as they are working on their ETD submissions. To that end, the task force has created a concise one-page document that highlights some of the most important things to use. You'll find a link in chat to the new document, and UT Southwest Medical's John Crossnow, Task Force Chair, will discuss it at the annual meeting in October. Finally, US ETDA, the United States Electronic Thesis and Dissertation Association, and the NDLTD, Networked Digital Library of Theses and Dissertations, are co-hosting ETD 2025, the 28th International Symposium on Electronic Theses and Dissertations, and US ETDA 2025, the 15th National US Conference on ETDs, to be held as a joint virtual event via Zoom, September 25th through 26th, 2025. Christopher Starcher and Frank Smutniak will present on behalf of TDL and the Vireo Steering Committee about maturing an open source ETD management system and its community. You'll find the link with more information and where to register in chat. Now for a digital preservation update, the NDSA is a consortium of 278 organizations committed to the long-term preservation and stewardship of digital information and cultural heritage for the benefit of present and future generations. The NDSA's Digital Preservation Conference is virtual this year. Digital Preservation 2025 will be held October 9th and 10th from 10 a.m. to 3:45 Central on both days. This year's theme is this, oh, oops. I pasted in something wrong, so you'll have to look at the theme elsewhere. My apologies. Um, More on that later. But just so you know, all of TDL is an NDSA member. So if you are a member of TDL, you can register at the member rate that you'll find there on the registration page. Finally, Texas Data Repository updates. There are a few things here. The Texas Data Repository Steering Committee has made significant progress on several projects that will continue through the end of this year and a bit beyond. First, the Larger Data Subcommittee has partnered with TDL and developer Jim Myers on fulfilling their requirements that will allow the TDR service to include an option to accommodate detached larger data storage needs. Also, a subset of TDR steering committee members is also working with Jim, the same developer, and core Notify representatives on applying the Notify protocol to Dataverse and DSpace repositories, allowing the systems to notify each other bilaterally of datasets linked to publications. Finally, the TDR steering committee has engaged a capstone student who is part of the Data Services Continuing Professional Education Program, a 12-week online intensive program designed to equip early to mid-career librarians with the skills required to deliver essential data services. The student will work closely with myself and mentors Michael Shensky and Brian G. at UT Libraries to develop Python scripts and work with APIs to improve TDR management and curation methods. Next up, I'm going to hand it over to Kiara Hunt for community updates.
Thanks, Courtney. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to share some of our upcoming community updates and events. First up, the 2025 ACRL Spark Forum themed Library Leadership in Navigating Public Access Funder Mandates will be held on October 7, 2025 from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Central. As stronger public access policies from government funders come online, libraries are actively working to support their campuses in understanding and complying with the requirements of each. This year's ACRL's Spark Forum will highlight examples of what this support can look like across different types of institutions and institutional contexts. The event is online and free, and registration is now open. For more information, we'll have a link in the chat so you can learn more. Next, Open Access Week is entering its 18th year, and it runs October 20 through 26, 2025. And this year's theme is Who Owns Our Knowledge? We encourage you to share any OA week plans and any institution updates that you have, and we can share that with the broader TDL community. Whether it's a webinar, a workshop, or another way your institution is celebrating, please submit your event using our form in the chat. We'll promote your initiatives on the TDL blog. It will be a running blog that will be online throughout the month of October. Additionally, in honor of Open Access Week, TDL is planning some virtual programming during or around that week, so stay tuned for more details about that. We'll have more details in the chat. Next, Open Education Conference 2025 will be held October 28th through 30th. It is a hybrid event, both in Denver, Colorado, and online. This year's theme is Eyes on the Horizon, and it focuses on building a more accessible, affordable, and inclusive education system. And we'll have more details about the event in the chat so you can learn more. Next, here are our upcoming meetings and events happening at TDL. These meetings and events are free and open to anyone, and you're always welcome to invite your campus partners and non-TDL member colleagues in your network to join us. And I'll just go through the list of our lineup for this month. So on September 22nd, from 3 to 4 p.m., we have our DSpace Users Group meeting. On September 25th, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., we have the webinar, OJS Accessibility for Journal Managers and Editors. On September 26th, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., we have the GIS Interest Group meeting. On October 1st, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., we have the Open Knowledge Access Interest Group meeting. And on October 2nd at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., we have the OJS User Group meeting. And on October 8th, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have the OER Users Group meeting. And we'll include our link to the TDL events page so you can see all of our events happening, as well as the October What's Happening blog post. Next, you can check out the latest TDL announcements for upcoming meetings, events, and programs on our social media channels and in our bi-monthly email newsletter and announcement listserv. We have a Get Involved page that has all of the links to all of our communications channels, and we'll include that link in the chat so you can see what's happening at TDL. If you would like to contribute news, announcements, project updates, or other content to our upcoming issue of the TDL newsletter or an upcoming TDL forum, we do want to hear from you. You can email us at info@tdl.org with all of your ideas, and we'll include the link to our TDL forum wiki page that has details about the types of content you can share with us and how you can get the information over to us. And I think that's it for our community updates. I'll hand things back over to Christy. Thanks, everyone.
I was talking while muted. Thank you, Kiara. Thanks, Courtney, for those updates. We do have some time for questions if you have any. And while you get those ready, I'll just remind you about our anonymous suggestion box, which you can use to ask us a question, which we can address in the forum. Or if you don't want to be anonymous, you can use the form that way too. You can also just contact us outside of the forum if you'd like to have a private conversation, but we welcome your feedback and any questions that you have. I'm not seeing anything in chat. I don't see hands raised, so we will go ahead and wrap it up there for today. Thank you again to all of you for spending some time with us today, and wish you all a very, very good start. Well, I guess we're a month into the fall semester at this point, but a good continuation of the fall semester. And we'll see you again next time in October. Thanks, everybody. Take care.